then things become really obvious. Can anyone tell me what the maximum number is that you can get from... But I think that would be obvious. Now, my idea is actually because you don't want to see them the piece of paper, make it a sticker and put it under the six-pack. The six-pack is too heavy to pick up, so it has the barcode on the bottom. Which means you get paid for drinking beer. So, there are situations in life that make a life of a hacker really, really good. This was one. In the house I live, on the floor level, they opened a shop that would be DVD rental, fully automatic. So there is nobody. What you get is a member card, a customer card with a barcode, and some other stuff, and then you can rent DVDs automatically and play with their system, which is probably not the intention. But there are also a case for access controls. Rarely, but from time to time you see people using barcodes for access controls. I've not seen a single one that would actually validate the content of the barcode. So it would only go ahead and see, is the barcode matching, like, is the barcode beeping at all? So is the scanner reading anything, then it will open the door. The more advanced ones will look, is it the right type and has it the right number of digits? But that's about it. So if you see an access system like that, you're in. Yeah. And then, like, all of this is really obvious, but there is a desynchronization that you can do. This is a contractor badge that I got. There are two things on your barcode. There's this number, which you can read, and there is this, like, those lines which the scanner can read. And nobody actually proves that they're the same. So actually people use that against you already. We had a company trip to the zoo, Berlin. It sucked, it was cold, but hey. And if you want to go to the zoo and you're an asshole and you don't want to pay and you're not an ape, then you would buy one ticket and you would try to reproduce them, right? Now you see those numbers going up here, they look quite linear. So you would say, okay, I print a barcode of that number or of the next number and print it on. But if you decode the barcodes, you will actually get those numbers over there. So they actually thought of that and like try to play tricks with their customers that are not willing to pay, which I can kind of understand. Desynchronization can work for you if it's used in property tracking. Now, you have seen a contractor badge 2 slides before. The procedure here in this company where this is used is if you have your own laptop and you bring it in, then they scan your badge and they scan a barcode that's on your laptop. When you go out, they verify that the barcode on your laptop is still booked on your badge. Now, the thing is, you can easily replace the barcode without replacing the numbers, right? So you find someone whose laptop is really nice. You look at his badge because you can read the number. You generate the barcode, stick it on the badge, take his nice laptop, go to the checkout, and put it in your car. Now, the problem is the guy is officially left, and you're out and he's still in. So you have to go back in without a laptop, remove the barcode, go back out because you have to check out yourself, and you got one more laptop. That works really well also with MAC addresses. In some cases, people mass scan MAC addresses of machines because someone was playing Optrix and they didn't know why. So if you go like, duh, I forgot to change my MAC address before the attack, you can at least change it on the sticker. Didn't I turn off those animations? Anyway, so back to my beloved video store. The thing about barcodes is barcodes themselves are not evil, but you have to make sure that your procedure is damn right, otherwise you toast yourself. Now here's the procedure with this store. They have the barcoded card, they have a PIN, and they have biometric systems, and I told them, fuck off, I only take the PIN. The rental procedure goes like this. You swipe your card, you enter the PIN, you select the movie, you log out, and then you get told on which server to pull the DVD. Now, to get the DVD, you go to the server, you swipe the card, you get the DVD, you go watch it. To return it, you swipe the card, you enter the PIN, you put the DVD back in the machine, everything is fine. Anyone seen a problem here? No. Now, given I have a barcode of some other customer who just rented a DVD but didn't pick it up yet, do I need a PIN? No. So essentially, since the member passes up there, you see there's a member number, and it's 4 digits, and it's linear. So the guy who signed up after me has 06171, which happens to be, I think, let me see, which happens to be the barcode on this. So you go to the machine, you swipe it. If he ordered over the internet, you get his DVD. Problem is you can't return it, but honestly, it's not your problem. On the other hand, procedure is also important if you attack those systems, because there's also a barcode on the DVD that you rent. And now the obvious idea would be, let's print the barcode onto a not toasted DVD and put that back into the machine. Yeah, that would work, but it would be utterly clear that it was you. So make sure that's correct. Now, next topic with barcodes is injections and multi-decoding. At the beginning I said you can configure barcode scanners, so most barcode scanners are left in factory defaults anyway. If they are not, you have config barcodes. Now the thing is this, the backend application will, in fact, in a supermarket system, assume that you're scanning EAN 13. So the most skilled programmer will assume that he gets 13 digits out of the barcode reading process. Now, presented with a code 128 barcode of arbitrary length, you can, of course, inject arbitrary characters, which opens the door to SQL injection via barcode, separation character injections via barcode, and format string attacks via barcode. The interesting part about that is the old systems that use MS-DOS backends are immune against that, because the readers were so crappy they would output bullshit all the time, and so the people wouldn't just take the blind value and put it into a database. The later systems with the cool barcode readers and the great PHP backend programmers are a different story. Now here's a situation where I had the luck of professionally testing a system that was playing with barcodes. And we see on the left side prepared entry, some medical stuff, and on the right side the decoding. And the third entry here would read long and then have many, many, many characters on it. But there are lots of them missing because one of them was considered the separation character between scanned barcodes in the machine doing the barcode scanning. So it wasn't even in the computer system, but actually in the machine. Very interesting bug, but SQL injections work as well. Now, talking about utter bullshit. Last week, and that's no joke, I had not planned this for this talk, but last week we traveled by train, and they gave me a newspaper. And I look at the newspaper and I see a 2D barcode. So the idea of QR codes in newspapers, and apparently that's the new hottest thing, is this. You take with your camera phone a picture of the 2D barcode in a newspaper. You get a commercial software, of course, onto your mobile phone, which will decode this barcode for you, and then automatically send your browser to the URL that's encoded in the barcode. And the idea is typing URLs is too, hard. So this is how it looks like. Of course, when they start something like this, they start with the nicest females of 2007. And I don't recognize one. They're all black and white. So, of course, I decoded it. The link doesn't even go to the freaking newspaper. It goes to some mobile blocking Web 2.0 foobar company with a long number next to it, which probably has the biggest mod rewrite file ever in history, and sends you the real link. Now, if you increase the numbers, you can see who else is using the service. But that's just besides. Now the thing is, people can print arbitrary content into a newspaper. It's called freaking advertising. So, most people, especially those with suit and ties, trust their newspaper in the morning, right? So, we get cross-site scripting attacks using your damn newspaper. See, if your browser was already authenticated to Gmail, then he just got the cookie. And since, yeah, there's this tradition that people can name new attacks, so I call it Kostkaltungsscripting. So, the only thing that, like the Russian malware people, Crime 2.0, they have to do is revert to Crime 1.0 and rent like a very small piece of newspaper and put a link to an MPEG or IcePeg site on it and own a ton of iPhones. So now we have to tell our managers they're not supposed to click on links in newspapers. Great. Okay, there is another interesting property about barcodes. With 1D barcodes, you would expect that the length is fixed, because most people know EAN 13, and that's always 13. But with other barcode types, and we now know that all the scanners can read all the barcode types, this is different. It really depends on the resolution you can print the barcode and on the scanner. And since most modern scanners are laser scanners, it depends on the resolution of your printer. Now, if you have a good printer, you can, as you see on the right, you can stuff a lot more characters into the same space. Anyone ever noticed that this is a desirable property for hackers? Because that brings you to buffer overflows on barcodes. So, let's be frank. Two things. Yes, they happen. No, they're a lot less common than one may think. Injection is a lot more common. Your tool of choice, if you want to try this, is a code 128. I already mentioned it supports full 7-bit ASCII, so you get like 128 different characters, including 0, which is important. And they have a special functionality. They have function codes. Several barcodes have function codes. And the function code 4 makes them chainable. So essentially, you can fragment your long exploit into little barcodes and then scan them one after another. Don't mix them up. And then at some point in time, you fed it like 1,024 characters or something. A warning, if you want to try this, it's a pain. If you ever wrote a normal exploit, you know, you fumble around, you send it over, it crashes, you look it up, you fumble around, you send it over. Here, you fumble around, you print it out, you cut it, you scan it, you wait, you figure out what's wrong. Yeah. Okay, in the QR codes, we couldn't leave the QR codes by themselves. So on the same train trip, thanks to UMTS, we got the software, one of the softwares. And yeah, of course, they were openly using %s all over their formatting. So, so much for buffer overflows. But what we also found, and that's just for entertainment, doesn't have anything to do with with barcodes or whatever, we found a UK phone number. We found this brilliant string that this application is only for use within the European Union on a mobile phone. We found a hard-coded IP address, and we found like a link to their website with their login and password for asking for more licenses. Oops, I forgot something. So, essentially, there was the time before certain laws here in Germany, and people could like freely try shit. So I did myself. If you want to play with barcodes, then I recommend you find something where you freely scan them. You don't ask the cashier to scan like 500 pages of barcodes for you. Maybe if you're a very good social engineer. So the first thing that came to mind is the post station. It's supposed to give you packages that should have arrived at your place anyway, but the damn post people were too lazy to ring, so they put a card in there with a barcode that says go to the damn machine and get the package, whatever. Now, what you get then to play with those is a barcode fuzzer. Now, a barcode fuzzer looks more or less like this. Single pages with barcodes.